The Icons of Real Estate podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Today we're connecting with Montgomery, Alabama's own Michael Stroup, a realtor with Harrison Atkins Real Estate. From cultivating gardens and mastering home repairs to now guiding through his clients through the real estate market since 2017, Michael's unique journey and passion for community shine through. Get ready to hear his insights and the joy he finds in helping people find their perfect place. Welcome, Michael. It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here today. Look forward to joining and being a part of the Icons of Real Estate.
Fantastic. Great to have you with us. And I think the simplest, easiest question to start us off with is, tell us, what is your real estate story? How did you get in the game?
Goodness. So as a kid, I was always around my uncles, dad, grandparents who were fixers. If there was a problem at home with an automobile, whatever, we fixed it. That kind of transitioned into entrepreneurship in my teenage years and early 20s, into the landscape and construction field. Being a numbers guy, I never was good at English or history in school years. Being a numbers guy, I could see a piece of property, see the flaws that it had, understood what it would cost to repair it and add value to the property. So I was able to purchase some properties pretty early on myself. And then over the years, really just got to where managing a construction business wasn't any longer my forte. And I wanted to go take the talents that I had, the real estate market, and help sellers ultimately solve problems. And that was purchasing a property, their starter home, their next home to upsize a piece of property if that's what their family needs called for.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's all about adding value and, like you say, upselling. You've got families now that are having children. They're going from a one-bedroom to a two-bedroom, or a two to a three if there's another child on the way. So it's fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Your journey into real estate seems quite unique, obviously starting with the landscaping and the home repairs. Can you share a specific instance where your hands-on experience in construction or home repair gave you a significant advantage or insight when working with a real estate client?
Actually, yes. One very recently. Over the 7.5 years that I've been an agent and a realtor, one of those that sticks out the most is probably a military relocate from overseas.
Okay.
She was in England. She was referred to me by another former client who was also a DOD and Air Force relocate to the Montgomery area. This buyer and I had looked at several properties, of course, via FaceTime. Not here. I was here, her boots on the ground, her eyes inside the home. And the final we came to, of course, was the one that she loved. There were some hiccups, some things she wanted to modify. Before we were able to even, I was able to get a contractor in there to give the insight, budget the repairs that were going to be needed, allowing us to move forward. And she now is living there happily ever after, about 2.5 months in.
Sure. That's incredible. I mean, that really says a lot for your expertise in sort of the remodeling and also your connection with your clients, because to be able to do something like that via video and, across 2 continents is definitely not an easy thing. I think a lot of our real estate developers and realtors obviously work face to face. They have meetings. They go and look at the property together. They draw out the plans. So, I mean, that's really fantastic. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Beyond the professional satisfaction of helping your clients find their dream homes, your bio highlights a strong connection to the community, especially outdoor activities and college football. How do you find that these personal passions and community involvement influence your approach to real estate or connect you with potential clients in a more meaningful way?
The first and foremost thought there, I would go to stems from a business group that I'm also involved in. We meet weekly. The group is specifically called BNI. And one of the core values about BNI in general, my favorite core value, there's several core values of BNI, but the favorite one of mine is givers gain. And I feel like if you're giving into the community, whether at church, religious style, communal outreach, whether you're giving your time to sit around the TV and hang, soak up the moment with your parents, your buddies at a sports game, at a NASCAR race, you're building bridges. One of the things my father did growing up to provide a income and a great life for my sister, mother, and I, he was in the bridge building industry, and I don't actually build physical bridges like he did, but I've taken that and tried to apply it in every facet of my life possible.
That's amazing. That's really fantastic. It's so important in your industry to be able to build and maintain relationships with your clients, with your community. A lot of what goes on in our lives revolves around our family, revolves around our faith, revolves around the people that we surround ourselves with. And
that's right.
I did have a look through your website. You've got some fantastic pictures there. I see you've got a dog. I'm guessing it's a lab and border collie. Wow.
She's 11 years old. Her name is Fran.
Fantastic.
She's my pride and joy.
Yeah. They work their ways into your hearts, and those little paws, they leave a lot of prints. I mean, I used to live on a farm, and I had two Labradors. I had a golden retriever and a chocolate brown, and they were like my kids. So I'm already on your side, and I already feel a connection there through that, and that's fantastic. It really is. It's great. My next question would be, having purchased your first home at a young age and experienced the market shifts since formally entering the market of real estate in 2017, what's one key piece of advice that you would give to a first-time home buyer that's navigating today's market, drawing from your personal experience and professional insight?
Brilliant question. Especially with today's society geared towards immediate gratification and the here, now, immediate, basically the shiny new toy, the shiny new thing, the piece. I would encourage any first-time home buyer to live within. Just because you go out and purchase that new home today, it may not be what some of your friends have, what you just moved out of from your parents or your collegiate dorm. But remember today, this first time buying opportunity is just that. It's the first time buying opportunity. It's not your forever home. Take one step at a time and live within your means.
Fantastic. Such an important piece of advice. I think everybody's got the mentality nowadays, and it's so true, of keeping up with the Joneses, and it's really a dangerous path to get yourself down, especially for younger, more inexperienced buyers, first-time buyers that are coming out of college, like you say, or maybe a younger couple that are looking at buying their first home. It's so important to really live within your means, because it can impact you financially from a family perspective, from relationships, the type of job that you have. It's really, really important to just take the first step and be able to say, well, this is mine. I own it. It may not be what I envisioned, but you can then work to the next step of what suits your needs better. I recently had a discussion with another realtor based in New York City that talks about how he's trying to advise his clients to look at upsizing during this volatile market, because obviously the investment is a lot safer in bricks and mortar and property than anything else. And it's shown a steady increase over the years. Property generally doesn't decrease unless it's in a really bad area. So, your money's safe where you are, and worst case, you sell it in a couple of years, you get your money back, or you get a 10% increase or 15%, and you roll that into the next property, and it might have a swimming pool, it might have a double garage, whatever your needs dictate. So I think that's a fantastic piece of advice.
And I think it's key to remember that too, like you alluded to. If you do try to keep up with the Joneses, many people do, you're chasing that next piece of furniture, that next lighting upgrade through your home. And those things only fulfill you for a very brief period of time. And so after you've gotten that, if you will, next high, the new bedroom suite, the new dining room set, whatever it is, you're left chasing that next thing. And you never quit chasing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, when the new excitement of it wears off, you're left with the payments.
Yes. The payments.
If you're
The
paying
debt.
if you're paying it off
The
over,
baggage.
yeah, all of a sudden now you've sort of justified it to yourself that, oh well, I can take this debt on and I'll be happy.
Yep.
Most of the time, and I'm showing my age here because I've learned through that experience.
Yep.
It's a short-lived thing. You buy a new car and you get excited, and but the funny thing is, within 5 to 6 months, your car's your car. You use it every day. All of a sudden, you're not worried about slamming the doors too hard or parking far away from other people.
That's right.
That's right. And it's the same. It's the same. Exactly what you're saying. It's exactly the same thing with houses and lifestyle. It is so true nowadays. Really, people are, now. There's no delayed gratification that the older generation knows. I can guarantee you, your father's outlook on delayed gratification coming from the era that he did, and mine as well, would be completely different to maybe our kids or our grandkids who are so used to having everything in the palm of their hand with a cell phone, with an iPad, and constantly consuming media that really does push the narrative of now, and not build something long lasting. Again, going back to your roots with the community and your faith, and that it's very important. I grew up in a small town where everybody knew each other. I could go to my friends down the road, and my parents would know I'd be there till 8, 9 o'clock at night with no problems, before the time of cell phones.
That's right.
I think that's missing.
Real words, real valuable words.
Absolutely. It's missing in today's time. The simple pleasures that we used to grow up with, and the safety that we used to experience is really no longer there. And it's a pity. I think I can be glad I've lived through the period that I lived through.
You and I will attest to the same. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I think just a few more questions and then we'll round it up. I don't want to keep you too long. One of the things I'd like to know, if you don't mind sharing with us, is what are your goals for this year?
My goals for this year to be much more intentional, as we touched on early in the meeting here today, being directly intentional about touching base with those former clients. It is very easy in today's world to focus, again, just like we were just saying, to focus on the here and now, what's right in front of us, this call, this buyer, this seller. But as I shared in one of the recent BNI meetings, I said, bottom line, we're all farmers. We've got to farm our fields. Some of us have very large fields. Some are very small. Some are on hilly terrain. Some are in wetland areas. But whatever field that we have, we've got to farm it. We've got to nurture it and take care of it. And so going forward this year, it is a front and center for me to really focus on the relationships that I've got, that I've had, to not only just be looking for those new relationships, but also to cater to the ones to continue feeding me those referrals, second time, third time home buyers.
That's fantastic. It really is a case of making do with what you've got. There's that famous book, Acres of Diamonds. It's a classic. It's a very old one.
Yes.
Looking where you've got, what have you got in front of you, doing the best with what you've got at the time. And I think maintaining relationships in this game is one of the most important things, really.
Yes.
You just because the deal is done, the money's been paid, the transfer papers are signed, it's not the end of the relationship. It's not the end. You haven't crossed over the bridge. I think it's really, you're still at the beginning of the bridge. The bridge doesn't end. It continues. And, you just have that ongoing relationship with your clients, with your community, with your family, that enables you to become a better realtor. And
that's right.
And more people will come to you and say, well, Mr. Jones referred me to you because of your good relationship
Yes.
with Mr. Jones.
Now you're preaching.
Yeah.
Now you're preaching. That's
Yeah,
it. I love
it is all about relationships. And one of the things we love about podcasting is that it does create the ability to generate relationships to a wider audience very quickly.
Right.
But it can also create new relationships like we're doing now. I feel like I could sit and have a coffee with you and we could chat for hours because we're on the same page essentially. Although
Feelings mutual.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
I mean, I've been in the real estate game before. I developed property. I'm now more in the marketing side like this, but there's a common thread that runs through people with the older values like we have.
Yes.
That makes it easy to do business and easy to transact or easy to build relationships. And it's so true what you say is to look at the farmland that you've got and say, well, okay, how many acres am I going to get out of this? What am I going to see today? What am I going to sow today that I'm going to reap in a month's time? And that again goes back to the conversation of the instant gratification and putting in the hard yards and the work to get the reward at the end of the day. Everybody wants to plant the seed now and check every 5 minutes, where's my tree? Where's my tree?
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that leads to a lot less fulfillment. As an agent myself, if you're just chasing, that next new dollar, that next new client, and again, it goes back to that first time home buyer looking for the new shiny thing, the new shiny furniture, the new shiny car. So totally on the same page there.
Yeah, it is very important. So at the start of the podcast, I had an interesting question. I'm just going to ask you again. It's a fun question. It's part of what our viewers like to know. And if you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
Simply put, my own podcast, the name of it would be Stroup XM. As in Stroup XM Radio, that would be my tag. That's where you would find me.
Amazing. It's amazing. So, we're the #1 real estate podcast network on the planet, and part of our mission is making podcasting more accessible. This has been a great chat with you. It's been great having you with us.
Yes.
I think our viewers are going to learn a lot. I definitely need to make a plan that if I'm ever in your area to touch down, and if you're ever in my area, my door will always be open, and I can show you some of our real estate here, which is, I'm sure, very different to what you've got that side.
Likewise. Dinner sitting overlooking the Alabama River or Lake Martin. We've got some picturesque opportunities for dinner, coffee, and just to hang out, network. And I would love to host you very soon.
Amazing. Well, ladies and gents, it's been amazing having Michael on the call with us. And I'll make sure one last question. I almost forgot this. This is important. If somebody needs to get in touch with you, what would be the easiest way? You can give a shout out to any of your social media that you have now, even a contact number. We're happy to put that in for you.
So yes, guys, reach out to me anytime, 7 days a week, 334-799-1698. I'm Michael Stroup. I'm with Harrison Atkins Real Estate here in Montgomery, Alabama. You can also find me at Michael, Michael Stroup, Stroup, Realtor, Realtor.com. Love to connect with any of you guys soon and guide you through the process.
Amazing. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll chat soon.
Pleasure. Look forward to seeing you soon.